If I ever wanted to be a lawyer, you know where I'd do it?
Where?
The UK.
Why?
Because they get to wear those little pubic lice wigs while they're in court. And they call them, like, magisters.
Yeah, have you seen Anatomy of a Fall?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's so good. There's an entire like section of that film that takes place in I think a French court. I was shocked. I mean, I'm embarrassingly American. I only know American stuff. So when I saw the French judges wearing their like stupid little wigs,
So funny, right?
I was like, is this real?
They love that. They love their, like, Regency, like, Founding Fathers little hairdos.
I know. I'm kind of just like, shouldn't you move past this? Didn't you have like a revolution or something? Like,
Francis had, what are they on, like, Revolution 11 now? Something like that.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I thought we moved past this. It seems I wore my long legs today. Justin.
Hey, Macarena. Hi. Jeff. Welcome to
Bands.
Bands.
We kind of were in sync on that one.
Well, that's because we're in
We're
person.
literally recording in the same room
in
today.
person, Henty.
Yes. The rare in-person Bands episode. We love it.
Isn't that rare? Because we've already done 2 and we're on episode, what is this, 11? 12.
12.
This
Yeah,
will be
12. Yeah. I mean, that's uncommon, diamond in
1 out of 6.
Pokemon card language,
Yeah. Pokemon card language. It is a diamond. Uncommon occurrence, but we love it.
Yeah, it's been quite a weekend already, I feel like.
It really has. It's Sunday evening. It's before House of the Dragon, so we won't be talking about this latest episode that's airing tonight. By the time you're listening to this, the 5th episode of House of the Dragon will have aired. But let's very quickly just mention episode 4, House of the Dragon.
Whew.
Spoiler alert.
Hey y'all, Editor Justin here. Just wanted to let you know if you want to skip Game of Thrones spoilers, you should go to the 3-minute mark. And I also want to shout out the fact that I sound like absolute garbage in this episode, and that's because I forgot an important chord when I went home this weekend, so sorry for the AirPods recording. Hope it doesn't affect your enjoyment of the episode. Let's get back to the pod.
I'm so sad that Rhaenys is gone. She was my favorite character.
Yeah, I mean, I think I talked about this on the Hot D episode, but she is my favorite character. I mean, she's like objectively the best. She's like the wisest. I think it is like a symbolic death in that as soon as like the conflict really starts in earnest, like she's the first one to go. It's like all wisdom is out the window,
Yep. The cool points are out the window. They got me all twisted up in the game.
Mm-hmm. Just a brutal episode. Like,
Yeah,
I think that everybody was excited. And by everybody, I mean, we all watch House of the Dragon in part to see these dragon battles.
Right.
And it would have been easy just to do, like, the Game of Thrones thing and be like, it's so epic seeing the dragons battle each other. But I think they did a great job of, like, emphasizing the horror aspect of the dragon battles,
Steaming blood pouring on
Yes.
people. The dragons clawing each other's bellies.
It's messy.
I hated that.
It's not like a clean battle,
And then fucking Vhagar bit off poor Melee's head. That's insane.
Yeah.
What a horrible way to die.
Did you see in the preview for tonight's episode that they're, like, carrying
Parading it
Melis's head around King's Landing as, like,
Parading-
a victory prize?
Horrible.
Wild.
I'm excited to see what season or episode 5 brings us.
It's been a great season so far. I'm very impressed.
It has been. They definitely didn't fall into like the sophomore slump,
Absolutely not. Well, we have a lot of hot topics.
Hot
topics. Hot's never had a real topic in his life to talk about. So let's get right into it. Jeff, have you seen this Gladiator II trailer?
I have seen it.
Mm-hmm. What'd you think?
Well, firstly, I said, Mama, what is the budget for this movie? Because they are giving us full Season 8 Game of Thrones level of, like, CGI rendering. Epic landscapes, huge battles, it looks like. The Gladiator arena.
They're going all
crazy.
out with this.
Yeah.
It is also directed by Ridley Scott, who, of course, directed the original Gladiator. And
Of course, I knew that.
I think he's known in his late career for these, like, huge spectacle CGI films, right? He just did the Napoleon biopic with Joaquin Phoenix, which was kind of like mixed reception, I think.
Did you watch it?
No, didn't see it. I was kind of like vaguely interested, but when it got middling reviews, I was like, I think I'm okay with missing this.
If I want to watch a short Angry Man, I'll just get in front of my bathroom mirror. I don't need to watch a whole
Lots of opportunities for that, yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
But yeah, this seems to, in some ways, be continuing the trend, but I'm not like a complete late career Ridley Scott hater. Like, I am a Prometheus apologist. Are you familiar with Prometheus?
I didn't watch that.
Well, I love Alien. I love the Alien franchise.
Yeah, Alien was great.
Alien, incredible film. That was like, I think, Ridley
one
Scott's...
of the best horror movies I think ever.
Yes, and one of the best sci-fi movies ever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just an incredible film. Prometheus was kind of like a surprise sequel to Alien, and a lot of people didn't like it. I was a big fan. But yeah, he has had some misses. So I hope that it lives up to the original's reputation. The cast is pretty good.
This is a horny movie.
Yes.
For all ages.
They casted it knowing what they were doing.
Paul Mescal.
Yes.
He got the Gen Alpha, Gen Z, and Millennials.
That's 3 of the 4 quadrants.
3 of the 4. Pedro Pascal, very similar kind of appeal.
There's lots of...
maybe even to Gen X.
Lots of thirst for both of those actors.
And then Denzel, the boomers.
Who's just an icon.
The boomers love Denzel.
And Denzel is Denzeling hard in that trailer.
The scene of him sipping the wine and laughing, I was dying. That is hysterical.
I just love that Denzel is like in ancient Rome acting exactly like Denzel Washington in 2024.
No,
he does not give a
We're not
single
doing
shit.
any accent work or anything. Nothing even vaguely Italian happening there.
As he shouldn't. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't want to see that.
He's one of the biggest stars in the world. Like, why would he do anything else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta be true to who you are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna watch it because
the thirst is real.
Look at.
Yeah.
Casting wise, or just the scenery from what I'm seeing, I was pretty impressed by the CGI. It didn't look corny. I think this has the potential to be like a Baz Luhrmann style flop.
Yes, absolutely.
Because it's definitely like a big movie, and I hope that there was like a lot of thought put into the plot line and character development in addition to the settings and the spectacle.
And this is like a direct sequel to Gladiator. It's not like a reboot or like something completely different. Like Paul Mescal plays the son of Russell Crowe's character in Gladiator.
Russell Crowe?
Yeah.
I forgot he was in that.
He was like the star, yeah.
Remember when Russell Crowe was a thing?
I think after Les Mis, everybody was just like, does this guy suck?
He had a fucking grip on the 90s.
Yeah, he did.
He was like a leading man for a long time.
Yeah, well, something interesting about Gladiator II is that it's coming out on the same day as the Wicked adaptation, starring Ariana Grande.
And...
Yes?
Hold on. Oh boy, I had a big old brain fart.
Nope. Cynthia
Erivo, how could I forget? She just did an incredible... Cynthia Erivo just did a great tribute at the Kennedy Center Honors to Dionne Warwick.
Okay.
And she sang Dionne Warwick's song Alfie and did an incredible job. Standing O. I've probably watched it, I'd say 22 times. It's really great. She's excellent. Love Cynthia Erivo. I'm excited to see Wicked. That's going to be fun. And Bowen Yang is in it too.
Who is he playing?
I don't know. Wicked. Okay. I don't know musicals. I like them, but I don't know anything.
I really am not a musical person. And this is just something where I've accepted that I will just never like a musical.
Yeah.
It's fine. There are great musicals. It's just not for me. So I'm not like super excited for this. But people are saying this is going to be like Barbenheimer 2. Because the dichotomy between like the Dude Bro Gladiator 2 moviegoers and the musical fans, the counter-programming of Wicked coming out on the same day. I don't know if it was intentionally scheduled this way, but it does feel like people are kind of forcing them into a Barbenheimer type relationship.
Okay, what's your pick for their portmanteau name?
Well,
what about Glicked?
Yeah, Glicked has already been promoted by Paul Mescal.
Oh, so Glicked is already taken. Minus a point for me.
Wikiator is the other potential one.
What is it?
Wikiator.
Okay.
But that sounds like a Wikipedia clone.
It kind of does.
I think if it's going to happen, it's going to be Glicked.
Gladiator?
Gladiator.
Point for me.
Too many syllables, I think. Although Barbenheimer.
Barbenheimer.
Same number of syllables.
What's wrong with 4 syllables? You don't like that?
I just feel like Barbenheimer really rolled off the tongue. And more importantly, it was like an organic, like meme-driven thing. So you're pushing Gladiator.
Gladiator, I think, is good.
All right.
We're going to go with that on the pod.
Okay, let me ask you a couple of questions about this.
Yes, go ahead. 1.
Did you participate in Barbenheimer?
No. Next question.
How did you feel about Barbenheimer when it happened?
I feel like these things are meant for people who are, have a very intersectional identity. Mm-hmm. People who like to get silly and see something that's like on the surface, I should say, because Barbie, I think, was a great movie in many ways.
An excellent movie.
And very deep. But on the surface, I think it's like those kind of things are like great for people who have like intersectional identities and like understand like different sides of things and appreciate different sides of things. Not for the people who are like, I'm not seeing Barbie, all that pink is girly and gay. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not for those people.
What I liked about it was that it was like very organic. Like people kind of just saw the juxtaposition of these two films and they were like, it's funny to think about seeing both of them at the same time. And then it resulted in these two films that I think otherwise, I mean, Barbie probably would have been a hit no matter what.
Oh, I think it would have been a huge hit no matter what.
But Oppenheimer, I think, I mean, Christopher Nolan is a huge director, but I think it did get a boost from Barbie.
100%.
And it was a great film. Like, I know that not everybody liked it as much as Barbie, and it's much more serious and darker than Barbie, although Barbie is surprisingly dark.
Yeah.
But that being said, like, I appreciated that it got a boost from Barbie. And these are two films that were, like, not sequels, not a part of a larger franchise, although now fucking WB is making a movie about, like, every single type of doll. Like, they have a Polly Pocket movie in production.
Polly Pocket, I think, is going to be a bad movie, but I think it's going to be huge, and I think it's going to really influence, like, the aesthetic for next summer.
You think so?
That's my prediction. Yeah, because, like, I think about this. You've seen, like, Powerpuff Girls are getting, like, kind of big again. There's a couple of famous drag queens who, like, last year were Powerpuff Girls characters, and that, like, went viral. For Halloween, I should say. That went viral. And then this summer, like, Powerpuff Girls, there's all kinds of memes, like, people drawing Charlie XCX and
Chapel
Roan
and
Sabrina Carpenter as, like, I just think, like, that kind of aesthetic of, like, these, like, pint-sized little cuties is coming back. And Sabrina Carpenter herself is, like, a pint-sized little cutie.
She is, yeah. A friend of mine, Catherine, said that she likes Sabrina Carpenter because she is short leg representation.
Yeah, short leg rep. And it's so important that we see ourselves. All of us.
Yes. Even the blonde white girls.
Even the blonde white girls with short legs.
Yes.
They need to be seen too, Justin. It's very important.
But going back to Glicked.
Wait, you had multiple questions, I thought. No?
Yeah, I did. I was asking you about whether you participated in it, how you felt about it. And then question 3 was...
I don't like nuclear war. It scares the living daylights out of me. I have nightmares about it constantly.
I meant like the pairing. And like the phenomenon of Barbenheimer.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. And then my third question was going to be...
Number 3.
Glicked. How do you feel about Glicked in like the potential pairing of these two films compared to Barbenheimer?
I think that's fun. And, like, I'm going to go see both, so why not do it the same day and do a double feature?
Yeah.
Because, Justin, the movies are back.
You know, Jeff, I do have to say, like, this week especially, I feel like I've been bombarded with trailers from upcoming films. And it's because all of the films that were delayed because of the writer's strike are now finally coming out in the next few months and coming years. You know, with Inside Out, this is, you know, we talked about it multiple times, but I think it's now Pixar's highest grossing film of all time. So it seems that the box office actually isn't as dead as maybe people thought it might be a few weeks ago when Furiosa came out. And it might have just been like a symptom of these delays due to the writer's strike. So
yeah,
the message is
the movies are back.
Unionize, pay your workers.
Truly.
And then your movies will come out and you'll make money. Don't be an idiot. Just pay your workers, dude.
Snaps for unions.
Yeah, we love unions. All right, well, we were just talking about Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah, speaking of pint-sized cuties.
Yeah, did you see that she officially announced her album?
Yes. I'm very excited for Short and Sweet. I think it's going to be a great time.
I think that there was like a video that she released accompanying the announcement that was like very like late night television, like by this like greatest hit CD vibes.
Yeah,
you know?
Like the as seen on TV.
Yes, it was very cute. I was really shocked to see that this was her 6th album. For me, I had never heard of Sabrina Carpenter until Espresso.
Right. So in your mind, she's like overnight success.
Right, overnight success. Although, I mean, I knew she's like a Disney kid. So I knew that she had like a long career prior to this mainstream commercial success.
Yeah.
But not that she had been putting out music for this long.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure when she was like signed with Disney and like, you know, working on their television show, which I don't actually remember what show she was on. I'm pretty sure she also had like a deal where she had to like put out like 3 records with Disney Records.
Mm.
And, you know, I think it was like kids pop music. I don't think it was like
Hannah Montana type stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And so I think just in the last couple of years, she's been putting out her own stuff on like in an adult way.
Interesting.
You know, kind of reframing her identity to the culture. Her last album, I thought was pretty good. That was the one that Feather and Nonsense were on. It was called Emails I Shouldn't Send, I think is the name of it.
Yeah.
Emails I Can't Send.
Ahead of the podcast recording, I looked it up, and I think that came out, like 2022, a couple years ago?
Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago. And I thought that had some really great songs in it. I mean, Feather did amazingly well. I think it's a platinum record at this point. and it has like 600 million plays on Spotify, which is like, that's pretty great.
So wild to me. Like the we've talked about this before, but like the different bubbles of music fandom that people are in. Like the fact that I had never heard of Sabrina Carpenter until Espresso is wild to me, and she's been so big.
Yeah.
How do you feel? We have talked about Espresso, obviously, but how did you feel about Please, 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 which is the second single off the album?
Yeah, I did not like it at first, but once I listened to it a few times, I really enjoyed the harmonies in that song. I thought they were really well constructed. You know, it's just fun, catchy pop music. I thought it was interesting that like she wrote it allegedly about Barry Keoghan because he has like quite an illustrious past with domestic violence things and accusations, allegedly.
He even starred in the music video. Yeah. Like, it was so obviously about him that he was in the music video for it.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty interesting.
It has huge Dolly Parton energy. Like, she definitely went country with it. And a lot of
sounding like Jolene-ish. Like,
in the kind of like Southern charm and hospitality way where it's like she's being cute and nice, and then it's kind of like a veiled aggression towards her partner in a way.
I don't even know if it's veiled because she's like, please don't embarrass me, motherfucker. Which sounds very country, by the way.
Yeah, super country.
I love that.
Yeah. And it's produced by Jack Antonoff.
You have thoughts about Jack Antonoff?
I have a lot of thoughts about Jack Antonoff. I'd like to
explore those.
Yeah, I forgot that last night we were talking about this, and I was like, don't get me going, because I will talk about this for multiple hours.
Yes, now I want to hear it. Not for multiple hours, because today's episode's got to be a little short, because we have people coming over for Hot D.
We'll keep it tight. But yeah, I, for a long time, was a apologist of Jack Antonoff and his production style. I think that he's been criticized for a long time for being kind of just like everybody's producer, right? Because he produced albums from Taylor Swift, from Lorde, from Lana Del Rey, from Clairo, like all of these huge artists. A 1975 record recently was produced by Jack Antonoff. And people were kind of like, he sounds really samey. And I'm like, well, he has a clear production stamp. If you don't like it, that's fine. But like, sure. I'm into it. Like, I like Jack Antonoff production until the most recent Bleachers record, which
you thought it was doo-doo.
I think he's just been it's good, but I think that he has been systematically since he started like his mainstream producing success, he's been like minimizing and subtracting things from his production style progressively over the course of the last few years, to the point where it's so minimal on that record that it's almost like I want a return to like a little bit more maximalist production, a little bit more. Like the writing and the hooks on a lot of the songs on that record are really strong, but it feels like hollow when I'm listening to them on the album. And I'm almost like, I bet if I heard this live, I would be like jamming out. But listening to just this record, it's so sparse and so minimal that I'm just like left feeling unsatisfied. And I think that carried over to the Tortured Poets department, where the production was like very minimal. And I think a lot of people saw it as kind of like sleepy, you know?
Sleepy? That was stone cold Steve Austin. I was not interested in it whatsoever. So bad, doo-doo garbage, voice notes.
Yeah. Even setting apart the Taylor Swift contribution. Like, I think the production was very samey and very sleepy. Like,
I like this word, samey.
Yeah. And it makes me a little bit sad because, like I said, I had been an apologist and a huge Jack fan in the past. And it's not even like I think the latest Bleachers album is terrible. It's just that I'm like, you can start having fun again. Like, you can start doing some weird shit on, like, production-wise on a record. It doesn't have to be... You don't have to be the Beatles. Like, you don't have to just be, like, on a guitar and drums and, you know, hyper old-school recording style to be, like, a legitimate producer.
So you just didn't like the production of this particular thing. You know what I think you would like? You ever go on YouTube, middle of the night, you can't sleep, and you open it up and you're like, let me find some amateur person out there, just like, you know, hobby producer. I want to see what they did to like one of my favorite songs, or one of the songs that's in the zeitgeist right now, and see how they would have produced it. And so a lot of times you'll like look it up. For example, you could do Please, 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 but it's the 90s, and then the sounds are all like the 90s type of thing, and somebody has like remastered the whole record and like reproduced it. I find that very interesting. So maybe you would like to do that with the Bleachers record and see who else out there has a sound that you might even enjoy more than the original.
Yeah, I've seen a few of those videos. I mean, I think they're very cool.
They vary in quality.
Yeah.
Just like anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's fun. I kind of like people who like recreate things. I like the idea of like people collecting, what is that called? Like recreationism.
Mm.
When people like collect things and then put their own little spin on it and put it back out as a new form. I
Yeah.
like that. That's hot.
But yeah, I'm excited to listen to this record when it comes out. Maybe we'll have an episode about it.
Yeah,
depending on how we feel.
I'm trying to go see her live.
Oh, is she touring?
She's doing. The tour is also called the Short and Sweet Tour. And she's coming to Hartford, and I think she's going to Boston, and I know she's doing Madison Square Garden. So I'd like to go to like one of those three.
Wow.
And see, how she is live, because her Coachella set was great. She did a great job live, and I was also impressed by her on SNL. I don't remember if it was like the penultimate episode, or if it was the finale episode of SNL this year, but she is a musical guest, and she did a really good job.
At this point, she's a pro, obviously. She's been doing this for years and years. So, time. Yeah. Keeping on the music track and continuing on our AI coverage.
It's AI Watch! That's our new segment. AI Watch.
AI Watch.
Mm-hmm.
The RIAA.
What does RIAA stand for? Recording? Independent Artists Assholes.
The Recording Industry Association of America.
That makes more sense.
So this is...
Back to you.
It's a trade organization that represents the music recording industry. So they do a lot of things, but I think they're probably best known for, like certifying diamond records or gold records or whatever, platinum records. They have sued a couple of AI music generators. These are companies Suno and Udio, I believe is how you pronounce them.
Okay.
Accusing them of basically scraping copyrighted works as a part of their algorithm in training AI.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, you say yes, of course, but...
It's all wildly unethical.
Right. We agree on that.
Yeah.
But actually, it hasn't been tested in court. Companies like ChatGPT scraped a lot of publicly available information on the internet before they asked for permission to do so, right? And so they're in a kind of ask for forgiveness, not for permission mindset.
Yeah.
So like after they already scraped it, then they went back to the websites and they're like, hey, we're already scraping your shit anyways. So like, do you want us to pay you some money and then we can do it legally?
Mm-hmm.
And these companies, because their CEOs are like desperate for money. In a lot of cases, these are like broke news publications and they need the cash, right?
Yeah.
So they're like, you're telling us we don't have to do anything and you'll give us $1 bajillion? Deal. And then, of course, this in the long run is terrible for writers, as we've discussed in the past.
Yeah.
So these AI music companies are doing a similar thing, but with copyrighted musical works, right? RIAA alleges that they have evidence that there are elements of copyrighted musical works that are in songs generated by these AI algorithms. So I'm interested in this, not just because it's great that we're fighting back against these AI music companies, but also in terms of like setting legal precedent for lawsuits, I guess, against AI companies like ChatGPT and other generative AI companies.
I, of course, think it's a great thing. You know how I feel about AI. Down with it!
Yeah.
Because it will be our downfall.
And I think, like, I don't know if you've ever listened to some AI generated music.
Yeah.
It's not very good.
No. It sounds like Tortured Poets Department. Very first
thought. Oh, no.
Very first thought. First draft.
I will say...
They're like, this is good, put it out.
There's a lot of criticisms of the Tortured Poets Department you could make, but it is a very explicitly Taylor Swift record.
Yeah, no, it sounds like you took all of her music she's ever created, put it into an AI generator, and said, let me come up with 36 songs for no reason.
But I mean, like, it's very specific to her real lived romantic life, you know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm not saying that you have to like it, but like an AI couldn't have made Tortured Poets Department. They could have made something that sounds like it.
I'm going to disagree.
But in terms of the subject matter...
What if she did use AI for this album?
I would be shocked.
I would be shocked too.
Yeah.
But it's funny to think about.
She does take pride in writing all of her own music.
So. And props to her. She's a great songwriter.
Yes.
And in most cases. Not on this album.
Yeah, but I'm very happy to see this. I'll be following it closely because, like I said, I think it could set precedent for future prosecution of AI music and other types of generative AI companies.
You know what? We never talked about this. AI uses so much energy.
You're so right. And it's like...
I'd love to hear that. Say it again. Do it.
Jeff, you're so right about this.
Okay.
I can't believe we haven't touched on this yet, but it reminds me of when companies and I think countries in general are like really excited when they have a reason to sell more things. And like for a long time, you've seen like Nvidia stock has gone crazy, right? In recent times, Nvidia is like the company that makes chips for computers and gaming consoles. And that's because suddenly people realize like, oh, we have all this AI stuff and it uses a whole bunch of computer power. And for a long time, we had these super powerful chips. And it was like, they were so powerful that we didn't even have anything we could throw at them that was like difficult enough that we would need them.
Got it.
And now that we have AI, I think that's a big part of the reason why AI is really popular like on the CEO side of things, is because they're like, oh, now we have a use case for these hyper powerful chips. And every normal person is like, we don't even want this. But they're like, yeah, but we could sell more chips. And it's like, for this thing that we don't want.
Yep.
And then, of course, it's also
to me
very energy inefficient, right? It's using a whole bunch of energy because these chips are power intensive.
You know what? This reminds me, we were talking to our friend Ken a while ago. Very smart guy, into computer science.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about quantum computing.
Mm-hmm.
And that those use so much energy and create literally so much actual heat as a byproduct of their work that they have to develop a way to keep the whole system cool.
Yes.
I don't really know where I'm going with this. I just wanted to bring up quantum computing.
No, I think it's a good point. Like it's a balance. We need like leading edge research on things like this. Like we need to be doing the investigations, but it's when it hits like mass market. We don't need to be building.
When it becomes something to be consumed.
Right. We don't need to be making like hundreds of thousands of quantum computers, right?
Right.
Those should be like in academic labs, like fringe leading edge research. But of course, what's going to happen is people will invent reasons why we need quantum computing so that people can consume these computers once they become more efficient and possible to use. I think that the situation that we're in right now is that the quantum computing can only function at like very, very, very low temperatures because we don't have like I think it's a good enough. I think it's some specific kind of conductor. And we don't know of any that have the properties that they need to have at like normal temperatures. The only ones that we have are functional at very low temperatures.
Right.
So in order for these quantum computers to function, you have to keep them like near absolute zero. So
wild.
Obviously very energy intensive and not feasible from a consumer perspective. But as soon as it does become feasible, there's going to be like iPhone 25 now featuring quantum computing.
Oh my God. It's insane.
Yeah. These people got to watch Jurassic Park.
Exactly, Justin. Thank you. The little mosquito and amber.
Yes.
People need to know what that's about. Maybe that should be the symbol of this podcast, a little mosquito and a piece of amber.
Yeah, and our spin-off tech podcast when we talk about this stuff.
Tech Corner. That's a new
segment. Tech Corner.
Tech Corner.
Okay. I'm down for that.
Well, it needs to be infrequent, though, because, I can't talk about too many smart things.
Jeff, you just did.
Did you hear any of what I said? I was like, I think it's got to be cold or something. I don't know. It was a lot of energy. That was my addition to that conversation.
Yeah. Well, it was a great point that you brought up. So.
Oh, well, thank you. I thought it was interesting. What's also interesting was this news that just came out about Euphoria Season 3.
We had talked a little bit of shit about the possibility of Euphoria Season 3.
We surely did. I think that was but 2 episodes ago.
And I was extremely shook when I saw this announcement. So it's been confirmed that Euphoria Season 3 is beginning production in January of next year with the full cast returning.
Mama, this is going to be Dawson's Creek level. Because these people are going to be like fully mid-30s trying to play high schoolers and college students.
I'm like, what are they going to do? I don't even remember where they left off. Do you?
I don't either. I just remember Coleman Domingo was featured heavily in season 2. And then I think the last episode, Rue and him were doing some kind of like gospel hymn.
Yes. Yeah.
It was like a big hymnal. I mean, it was like a dream sequence type of thing, but that's all I remember. I don't even remember what happened in that show this season.
Also, I feel like
it came out so long ago. That show came out approximately 8 years ago.
Yes, I mean, literally. I think I'm a little bit worried because Sam Levinson has shown himself to be maybe not as much of a visionary as people thought.
Maybe a total jackass?
Yeah, that too. But also what was the name of that terrible show that we talked about? It's called The Idol.
The Idol.
Yes. But yeah, that show wasn't very good. And I have to say That is, I did enjoy Euphoria season 2, but it had like mid Game of Thrones energy where I was like, I can see how this might go off the rails, you know? Especially with all of the logistical concerns, considering this like hyper famous cast that they're bringing back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is going to be the most expensive show of all time just based on salaries. Like, no CGI, but like the salaries are going to be insane.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Like,
Zendaya.
you got Zendaya, Sydney Sweeney, Hunter Schafer, Jacob Elordi.
Yeah, Jacob Elordi.
Fucking everybody in the show is hyper famous now.
They are very famous. You know, good for them. I think it's crazy that they're all coming back. Except Angus Cloud, of course, won't be there, which is really too bad.
Really
he was
sad.
An excellent actor, and that was really sad that he died so young.
Mm-hmm.
It's really interesting because Variety had an article out a while ago talking about some of Sam Levinson's insane ideas that included like a 5-year time jump and potentially Zendaya's character working as a private investigator, which is so wild to me. I'm just like, what is that for? What are you trying to say with that? Do you know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Like, there has to be, like you said, maybe he's not an artistic genius or a visionary, because I'm not understanding, like, what are you going to say with that? What is that going to, how does that in any way relate to what your last 2 seasons of the show have said?
A problem with Euphoria from the beginning is that it always seemed like it was really interested in like shock value.
Yeah.
Like, it always had good stuff going on besides that, which is why I watched. But I feel like, given The Idol, shock value is like a huge factor in Levinson's like creative persona.
Right. To the detriment of the plot and story.
Exactly. Like, in my opinion, maybe the best episodes of Euphoria ever were those 2 pandemic episodes that focus solely on Rue. And,
yeah, those are really good.
What's Hunter Schafer's character's name? I forget what her name is. Jules.
Yeah, Jules.
Yeah, there were 2 episodes, one focused on Rue, one focused on Jules. And famously, the Jules episode was written by Hunter Schafer, co-written by Hunter Schafer.
Yeah.
And I think that added to how good the episode was. So I'm kind of like, can we take the reins away from Sam Levinson and give it to somebody else, but keep this cast and this concept? Like, that would be my ideal situation, but of course it won't happen.
Of course not.
We're going to watch it, obviously.
I'll never watch it. For sure.
But I'm skeptical. I'm very curious to see how it ends up.
I am too. I hope for lots more Coleman Domingo. I love him. I think he's great. I'm hoping for lots more Hunter Schafer and Zendaya. And I kind of want Alexa Demi to like get her flowers, because of the main cast, she's like the only one who hasn't really broken through.
Which is, I mean, kind of wild. I mean, Zendaya was kind of already a star before Euphoria.
Yeah.
I think that Sydney Sweeney became huge because she has such an absolutely incredible work ethic. Like, the amount of stuff that she's
you're
been
going to say body, but okay.
I'm not that kind of guy who's going to be like, yeah, there's 2 huge reasons why Sydney Sweeney is famous. No, I think it's really just because she's been in everything.
Yeah.
Since the last season of Euphoria, I feel like she's been in 50 movies.
I feel like Sydney Sweeney is not like a great actor. I think she's a good actor, and I think she's just like beautiful and basically the Hollywood ideal of being like a thin but still busty, beautiful blonde person.
Yeah, and she also like she's like in everything. Like, she's had a couple of duds, but nobody cares when she's been in White Lotus. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's incredible the amount of work that she's done. You know, and there was a really good article out about her because she comes from like a blue collar background.
And MAGA parents.
Yes, famously. But I think it is admirable. Like, she took on a lot of these like advertising deals. Like, if you follow her on Instagram, you know that like half of her posts are sponsored.
Yep.
And she got a lot of shit for that initially because they were like, oh, you're selling out, blah, blah, blah.
So what?
And she's like, listen, I don't have a trust fund.
Right.
Like, I'm not a Nepo baby, so this is how I make my living. And I think that informs the way that I think about her as just like a hard worker and like truly self-made. You know what I mean?
No, I'm not taking anything away from her because, like I said, I think that she's like a good actor.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, like, we do have to admit and acknowledge that she's
gorgeous.
She's like, you know, kind of exactly the type that they're looking for.
Yes.
White, blonde, beautiful, busty.
And I think also in her personality, kind of approachable. She still has that like girl next door energy despite her being like insanely gorgeous. Yeah.
That's how she grew up.
Right.
But yeah, you know what? That bothers me so much when people like, oh, I don't like insert name of person or band. They are sellout now. I'm like, and what? It's like if you had the opportunity to build wealth based solely on the persona that you have in the world and your talent, like, why would you not do that?
And it's also like people sometimes don't understand that this is a career for folks. Like,
Yeah.
like if you're Leonardo DiCaprio, maybe you're choosing roles very specifically and intentionally because you're Leonardo DiCaprio. You're like the richest person alive. But if you're Sydney Sweeney, you don't have a savings account or whatever when you
Yeah.
start this business.
Right.
Like, you have to take all of the jobs that you're offered.
Yeah.
Like, not that Sydney Sweeney is like struggling right now. I think she's doing fine.
No, I'm sure
but,
she's
like,
doing great. But I'm sure she also like has a lot of things that she needed to pay for.
Right.
And a lot of family she wanted to help out.
Absolutely.
So good for her.
Yeah.
Sydney Sweeney, get your bag, girl. Don't listen to these hating ass bitches out here.
Yeah, so maybe the biggest news of this week has to do with your favorite person, Alec Baldwin.
My favorite. I love him.
Famously, he's just
amazing.
lovable.
He's such a nice
He's
guy.
just like Winnie the Pooh. You can just pinch his cheeks.
Squeaky. He's like the Pillsbury Doughboy even.
Do you want to get into this?
This might be the second biggest news of the week, but I don't know if we want to talk about the first biggest
Oh,
news
yeah,
of the week.
yeah, let's not talk about that. I would like to not talk about the biggest news of the week. Let's talk about the second biggest
We'll
news.
talk about the second biggest news story of the week, which is Alec Baldwin's manslaughter charges have been dismissed in an outrageous turn of events.
Oh my god.
I just really cannot believe this. And the reason, from what I understand, is that there wasn't enough discovery presented to the defense by the prosecution. I get they're calling it surprise bullets because apparently there are some bullets that in some way have, an impact on the case. We don't really know all the details, but apparently this wasn't included in the discovery for Alec Baldwin's defense team. And so basically on this technicality, by the state's failure to basically inform the other side of their evidence for this trial, Alec Baldwin is getting to walk away from this and can't be retried because it's been thrown out with prejudice.
Like, I'm not a lawyer, and that should, just to be clear, but it seems like an unforced error on the part of the prosecution.
If I ever wanted to be a lawyer, you know where I'd do it?
Where?
The UK.
Why?
Because they get to wear those little pubic lice wigs while they're in court. And they call them, magisters.
Yeah, have you seen Anatomy of a Fall?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's so good. There's an entire section of that film that takes place in, I think, a French court. I was shocked. I mean, I'm embarrassingly American. I only know American stuff. So when I saw the French judges wearing their stupid little wigs,
so funny, right?
I was like, is this real?
They love that. They love their Regency, founding fathers little hairdos.
I know. I'm kind of just shouldn't you move past this? Didn't you have a revolution or something?
Francis had, what are they on, Revolution 11 now? Something like that.
That's what I'm saying. I thought we moved past this.
Yeah. You know what, Justin? Just like in academia, some institutions remain the same.
Yeah.
Despite everything. They change.
Yeah.
What do you feel about this? Do you feel that this is fair? Do you feel that this is going to provide any kind of closure or justice?
Well, I feel complicated about this. I think that this is a classic situation where Alec Baldwin can afford to hire a great defense team. That's likely the reason why this happened, right? His lawyers did an incredible job. They made their money's worth getting him off.
Ooh.
Waiting for a joke from Geoff there, but I guess we're letting that one go.
I thought it might be too low-hanging fruit.
Obviously, that's a problem with our justice system. Outside of that, generally, I think that there are reasons why things like discovery exist. I've watched enough true crime documentaries to know that discovery is very important. Defendants are often disenfranchised when the prosecution doesn't give enough evidence in discovery. So,
right.
I'm okay with the rule.
I am too.
I just feel that, of course, Alec Baldwin is the one that gets away with it here.
You know what I'm more curious about now? Is he going to still do his TLC show? I need to know. We're talking about a lot of discovery. Discovery in Court, Discovery Channel.
Now a part of HBO Max. Or just Max now, sorry.
But still refusing to call it that.
Wait, do you think he's not going to do it, really? I think he still has to pay the legal bills.
Oh, true.
I think he's definitely going to do it. If anything, maybe this makes it maybe a less messy show.
Right.
Maybe,
yeah, because we were talking about him being crying off camera.
Yes. Now it might be a little bit less weird because it's okay, at least he's a free man. He's not being tried for murder.
Right. There's that.
Yeah. I think that the show might actually be higher quality but I think I'm less likely to watch it now.
Oh, interesting. You wanted the tension.
I mean, if I'm gonna watch a reality show, it better be terrible. You know, like in a good way. You know what I mean?
It still might be terrible. I think that there's every possibility that
it could still be
truly
terrible. But I think it could just fall into just bad status instead of so bad it's good status. And that makes me less likely to watch.
Okay.
I'm here for the messiness.
Listen, I want to watch it only so I can see if Hilaria is going to continue trying to pass herself off as a Latina woman. I just need to know, and I want to hear her fake accent again.
She's kind of between a rock and a hard place. It's like either she drops the accent and she's like, it was all a fake.
It was all a dream.
Like, this was fake from the beginning, and I was making up the accent. Or she
lean
keeps
into it heavily. What if Hilaria's like the opening shot is her making paella,
making tortillas, like hand pressing tortillas?
No, she said she was Spanish, like from Spain.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that's interesting. She said she was Latina specifically.
Well, now I might have made an oopsie. Are Spanish people
are not Latino.
Okay.
So
they're Hispanic.
They are Hispanic.
Okay.
Hispanic means of Spanish origin.
But I think that she was on, maybe I'm wrong, because I think she was on like a Latina magazine.
This is Jeff's Roman Empire, the Hilaria Baldwin situation.
One of my many, honestly.
So reading her her personal life section on her Wikipedia page. It says that she spent some of her childhood in Spain.
Right.
Although she has no Spanish like ethnic background. The final sentence in her ancestry and background section is, Baldwin described herself as, quote, multi, end quote, and culturally, quote, fluid, end quote.
Okay.
So
I find that interesting.
We will be watching closely.
I really hope that we open up on a shot of their 27 children or however many they have running around, and she's like, kids, set the table.
Enchiladas.
I made enchiladas and tortilla.
There's like chilies hanging everywhere in the kitchen.
And then one of them is misbehaving, and she's like, "Aye!" And she pulls off her little slipper, and she's like, "I'll get the chancla." She's shaking it and looking right at the camera, giving us a big wink.
Oh my God.
I would love to see that for Hilaria.
I mean, I would die laughing.
It might be hilarious.
And I think, should we end it on that and take a quick break before we get to our main topic?
I think that's a great place to stop.
All right, let's take a short break, and then we'll get to our maybe surprising topic for this week.
I think it's very surprising.
All right.
If listeners know anything about me.
We will be right back.
We'll be back. Bye. And we're back.
And we are going to talk about a horror movie today called Longlegs. Listeners may or may not know that Jeff usually is a scaredy cat when it comes to horror movies.
Scaredy cat is not a nice way of putting it. I would say I'm horror averse because there are enough horrors in the world already.
Yes, I understand that, and that's fine. But I was super excited to see this film, and I was in town this weekend, which is why we're recording in person. I extended an invite to a group of friends to see this with me, and Jeff took me up on it. So I think we both ended up really liking this film, and we decided to talk about it today because Jeff, regrettably, has still not watched an episode of The Bear.
All right, listen, I was finishing my Game of Thrones, as we discussed. I needed to do my rewatch because I was really in House of the Dragon mode. And you know what? The Bear, I gotta download Hulu again, I gotta start paying again. And I'm mad at Disney. They have enough of my money.
Listen, I get it.
I'll get around to The Bear. I like Io Debris. I thought that Lip was great and Shameless. Wait, Lip is his character's name.
I know his name, but I can't think of it.
Aaron
right
Johnson.
No,
Aaron
different.
Taylor
Looks
Green.
similar, but not the same.
Aaron Taylor Green? Marjorie Taylor
Jeremy Allen White.
Jeremy Allen White.
Yes.
There's something about people with three names. I haven't gotten along too well with anybody with three names. A lot of serial killers have three names.
All right, back on
Perfect
topic.
segue back to our topic.
Yes.
Of Longlegs.
Yeah, so Longlegs. This is a horror film directed by Oz Perkins. It just came out this weekend. I first found out about this film from a trailer that was very intriguing. I know the star Micah Monroe from this other horror film, It Follows, which is one of my favorite films the year that it came out. I want to say like 2014, perhaps. She stars as an FBI agent named Lee Harker, and she's tracking down a serial killer who's played by Nic Cage. And this was something that was in the original trailer that I watched. They didn't show him at all. They're doing a bit of a Jaws thing where they kind of keep him off camera for a very long time, and it's extremely effective. He makes an incredible performance in this film, like truly unhinged. The prosthetics that he wears as a part of this film are incredible. Yeah. So Geoff, let's get started just by maybe you can talk about your overall thoughts and vibes on the film. We'll give a spoiler warning when we start talking about plot details later on. But for now, just like high level stuff, maybe like also what your relationship is with horror in general. Like, why are you horror averse?
Well, I kind of meant what I said. I was like half joking, but I really do feel like there's enough like terrible shit in the world, and I like to use films and movies as like a way to escape. And same thing with music media, let's say, to be more concise, since we're running out of time. And so like I don't want to escape into another reality, which is terrifying and unsettling. But I made an exception because I was very intrigued to see Nicolas Cage in a completely different role than he's ever played before. And because I do like thrillers, and I felt that this movie seemed to me that it was more of a thriller than like a true blood, gore, scream queen type of horror movie. And I didn't really know anything else about it other than I saw like a quick trailer, a 30-second version of a trailer, and that you were like, oh, we should go see it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this film. When I saw the trailer, it immediately had Silence of the Lambs vibes, which is one of my favorite movies ever.
Right.
Because female FBI agent tracking down a serial killer, plus there is this supernatural element, like the satanic element,
right?
Which, you know, I am more of a fan of horror movies. I think when I was younger, I really wasn't. In the era that we grew up in, the popular horror movies were like Saw adjacent, where it was just like a lot of gore and violence.
Yeah.
And then the other type was like slashers, which are very kind of like formulaic and also very violent, lots of blood, right?
Yeah, I need more of a psychological kind of thriller.
Yeah. And there has been like a resurgence in that type of film recently, you know, like
because they're good.
Because I mean, that's how I started loving horror films. Like It Follows actually was one of the first like newer horror films where I was like, do I like this?
And I watched that too. and you know, I really, like you said, I'm not a horror person, but It Follows was great. And I loved Micah Monroe in that movie too.
Yeah. And often like in It Follows, for example, like there are themes that are deeper than just like, I like seeing blood and guts.
Yeah,
you know, like there is usually some kind of underlying metaphor that's, you know, resonant with the terror that you're feeling watching the film.
AIDS!
Right. And It Follows, it was STDs.
STIs, Justin. Point for me.
Oh. Sorry. In Longlegs, I think it's a little bit more complex, the themes that they're getting at here.
Yeah.
But if I had to like sum it up in a kind of messy way, generalizing, I guess I would say that it's about like parenting and the way that some parents can try to protect their children and try to keep them innocent at the expense of not just their kids, but also like the world in general. Yeah, it actually impressed me quite a bit. I saw a review that it was like Silence of the Lambs mashed up with Hereditary. I think that's kind
that
of
makes
accurate.
A lot of sense.
I think it has a lot of X-Files vibes.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
It very aggressively is set in the 90s.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, there's like portraits of Bill Clinton in like half of the shots, which I think some people might think it's just kind of like a clunky way to be like, look, it's the 90s. But in my opinion, it also like is very instrumental in like the culture that people lived in at that time.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And you know what else I loved? I think that whoever did the set design for this movie needs an Oscar. They really effectively transported us into that time period, because I'll tell you what, that police station, in movies, they always have the same police station. You walk on into the lobby and there's a huge tall desk with a cop sitting at it.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how any police station is. My dad was a police sergeant, so I grew up in going into police station. It was messy, wood panel, terrible fluorescent light, very eerie, dimly lit. messes of paper everywhere, old-ass computers and telephones everywhere. The set designer who did this movie must have done a lot of thorough research or had like a contact or something in it. They did such a great job with the setting. But not only that, the cars that they drove, even the way that it was shot, it just like really, really did a good job of like encapsulating the timeline, particularly the beginning of the movie. I love when they open it up with the 1970s music playing.
Yes.
The film quality looks like the quality of film that would have been used in the 1970s. It was grainy. It had like imperfections visible in it. They did a great job of like immediately catapulting us into the timelines.
Yeah, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about that opening scene.
Terrifying.
So yeah, not only did most of the action take place in the 90s, but there's like significant timeline. Don't start with me. There's a significant portion of the film that takes place in the 70s, which I think we all like. I think this film is very intentionally playing with our like preconceived ideas of serial killers, whether that be like Zodiac from the 60s and 70s into
Helter Skelter,
right, like Satanic Panic type era, into the 90s, like Silence of the Lambs type serial killers. It's playing off both of those kind of like
those tropes.
Archetypes, yeah. And it's doing so knowingly, right? So like the main villain, played by Nic Cage, who goes by Longlegs, he drives like a station wagon that is like everybody. You see that station wagon, you're like, I bet that guy's a serial killer.
Yep. The wood panel,
right? It's like as soon I think the film opens up with this station wagon just slowly pulling into like an isolated snowy house.
Yep.
And it's in 3:4 aspect ratio, signifying the earlier timeline.
Yep.
And it just is filmed with such like a slow building dread.
There's like a real sense of foreboding.
That it's just so, that opening shot was incredible. And it does like a quick jump scare right before it reveals Longlegs to you. So you don't really, you get like a split second look at his face before it cuts. So you don't even know what you saw really.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a improvement on the Jaws technique. You know, like Jaws is like, don't show anything, right, until the climax of the film, because that kind of maximizes the dread.
Yeah, it's like showing you enough for you to be like, I need to see.
Right. Like, I want to know more. Like, did I imagine that?
Right.
So maybe let's talk about the premise a little bit before we get into like spoiler territory. But the premise is essentially that Micah Monroe plays an FBI agent, Lee Harker. She, at the beginning of the movie, seems to have a supernatural ability of some kind, to have like clairvoyance.
Yes.
She seems to know where a suspect is before any evidence arises to show where that suspect is.
She would have no reason to think that they were like in a large housing complex, and she just like looked around and was like, oh, it's that one there.
Right.
She had no reason to know that.
Right. And then the FBI picks up on this. They test her and they're like, I think she is psychic, basically. This is why it's very X-Files.
Yep.
Essentially, they're like, well, let's put her on that crazy serial killer case.
Right, yeah. That's
because she's apparently psychic.
Cold, yep.
Without spoiling too much, it seems like there may be some connection between her and the case that the FBI and that Lee did not foresee.
Right.
And that's kind of how it starts off. Do you want to get into spoiler territory?
Hey y'all, Editor Justin here. If you want to skip Longlegs spoilers, you can go right on ahead to minute 59. All right, let's get back to the pod.
I think that the real twist and the reason why this movie is like a tier higher than just like a good horror movie is the twist that Lee Harker's mother is the accomplice to Longlegs.
Mm-hmm.
You generally learn over time that Longlegs has some kind of connection with Satan. And Lee's mother keeps calling her and being like, did you say your prayers? Like, it'll protect you from Satan. And this is priming you to think, okay, Lee's mom is a good guy. She's the one that's trying, this is like classic horror movie stuff. The daughter who is not following religion is corrupted. She's going to fall to the temptation of Satan, while her like mom is trying to get her to stay on the light side of the force or whatever. So this whole time, Lee picks up, she's like, I think that there must be some kind of, collaboration happening here between Longlegs and somebody. And you think like maybe it's Lee herself and she doesn't know.
Yeah, my mind went there thinking that it was Lee herself and she was like in some kind of psychosis and didn't remember the horrible things that she was doing. And then my other thought while we were watching the movie was like that her mother was dead and she was like imagining all these phone calls, because she would literally call her in the middle of the night. In that one scene, it was like 1 a.m. because she had just been at the detective's house and it had been past midnight.
Well, also remember the mom, or she was asking her mom, like, what are you doing living alone, being up this late? Like, why are you so busy?
Right, exactly.
And it's like, because she's a fucking murderer.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
The twist is that it's not Lee, it's actually her mother, the supposedly religious one, right? in a lot of the scenes, the worst scenes, where she like shoots an FBI agent in the head with a shotgun. She's wearing like a
that
habit.
was a tough one.
Yeah, it's like she's wearing a nun's outfit.
Yeah.
So I think this movie actually has a lot to say, not just about helicopter parents, but also like organized religion and how like Satan and evil, I guess, if you're not talking about religion in general, but like even organized religion can be twisted in such a way that they're actually doing the work of Satan.
Yeah,
and
no, I
doing
think
evil.
that, to me, that was like one of the biggest themes of the movies and lessons of the movie was that like organized religion can incite a lot of the evil that it's proclaiming to eradicate from the world.
Right. And it's, even though like Lee's mother is doing this because she made a deal with the devil literally to basically save Lee's life. She's trying to protect Lee's innocence. I think there's a line in the movie where she's like, not all little girls are able to live this way, but I want to make sure that you do.
Right.
And it turns out that she's actually inflicting pain and suffering, not just on everybody else, but also on Lee, like by doing this, even though she thinks that she's doing it for a good reason.
Right.
Yeah. So I thought it was a really nice way to get that theme across. Yeah.
I thought so too. I had one gripe about the movie. I felt that in the second act, basically, we found Longlegs. They were interrogated.
Right.
And in prison, basically, and then decided to, like, basically off themselves.
Yeah. I mean, Longlegs, he was almost a red herring.
Right, exactly. And I didn't like that.
You didn't? Well, Nicolas Cage gave an incredible performance in the time that he was on screen.
He really did.
There's one particular scene where he's, like, screaming in that station wagon.
Mommy! Daddy!
It's like...
He's doing his classic Nic Cage screaming. I love it. Every single movie that man is in, he finds an excuse to scream with, like, like unbridled horror.
And there's such a fine line in horror between humor and terror. Like, something that, you know, I think in a lot of real-life situations, if something really uncomfortable happens, you laugh at it because you're like, this is a way for me to deal with this weird, uncomfortable thing.
Yeah.
But if it's, like, in a slightly different context, you'd be like, this is... Terrifying.
So unsettling.
And often Nicolas Cage's screams goes into the humor territory, and here I think it really walks that line.
It was so unsettling, but I still thought it was.
I mean,
so
it was
funny
hilarious too.
He had like an opportunity to yet again just like scream.
It was both funny, and this movie was actually surprisingly funny in a lot of situations.
A lot of it was like Lee's inability to like emotionally connect with other people around her.
Yes,
especially children.
Which at first you're like, maybe she's just weird, but then as of course you learn more, you're like, she's heavily traumatized.
Yes, it makes a lot of sense. It's just funny the way that she's so standoffish and like doesn't know how to act in a social situation.
Right. It was great. It was a great
meme fodder.
I highly recommend it, especially if you're into like procedural type FBI films or if you're into like horror movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do want to give a quick shout out as well to Alicia Witt, who played Lee's mother. She was great. And Blair Underwood, I think one of our unsung heroes in the world of acting. He did a great job as Lee's supervisor, Agent Carter.
Yeah, and I want to shout out Kiernan Shipka, who is kind of like a bit part in the film, but a really one that gave like an incredible impression. She's a past survivor of Longlegs, and she was Sabrina in The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina on Netflix. She gave an excellent performance too.
And John Hamm's daughter in Mad Men.
Yes.
She also had some very funny like one-liners in that scene.
Yes, she had very funny one-liners, and then it really quickly transitioned to just being like creepy as fuck.
Just extremely unsettling.
Yeah.
I think that this movie did a great job of like making what on paper and in retelling sounds like an insane premise and like tired and corny and played out. I think they did a great job of like making it palatable.
Yeah, and they made it seem believable even though it has like this insane supernatural element to it. Like, don't read the Wikipedia plot summary before you see this movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's much better if you experience it from opening credits to closing
100%.
credits. Yeah.
Good film, great film.
Great film. Anything you want to say more about Longlegs before we conclude and get to what's good?
No, I'm ready. Let's move it.
All right, well, we'll take a quick break and then we'll be right back with our what's goods.
And we're back.
We are back.
And this has been an absolutely chock-full pod. We're doing this in record time, I must say.
Yeah, well, we're rushing through because we have company.
We have company coming in just 10 minutes.
Yes.
So, Justin, I won't do the whole big preamble this time, but I do have to ask you a question at the end of every pod.
Mm-hmm.
And that question is, Justin, what's good?
Well, Geoff, I have been reading a short story collection. It's called Bliss Montage by Ling Ma. I became familiar with Ling Ma through her debut novel Severance, no relation to the Apple TV Plus show.
Okay.
But it was a post-apocalyptic novel that was like very anti-capitalist, very millennial coded. Like I would highly recommend it if you haven't read it already. It's kind of about how like you can become a corporate drone, and we're already kind of living in that like late capitalist apocalypse.
Wait, and it's not no relation to Severance?
I mean, it has similar themes, but yeah, no relation. I talked about Illuminations, a different short story collection, in a previous episode. That one I finished. It didn't have a super high batting average. There were a couple of duds in that one, I think. This one, I'm about 3/4 of the way through it right now, and every single short story has been a banger.
Mm-hmm.
Themes generally are relationships. She talks in the first 2 stories about abuse and how people heal from abusive relationships, how you kind of like hold all of your past relationships with you in your present relationships. So far, my favorite short story is one called G, like the letter. It's about a drug called G that if you take it, you become invisible. And it's kind of like a party drug, like in the world of the short story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's kind of about how much your physical appearance affects the way that you live and what it's like to decouple yourself from that physical appearance. So Ling Ma is like a child of immigrants. She's Asian. And this short story is a lot about how her personal life is affected by like the pressure from her mother and from general society about like her appearance and her body. And I think it's a metaphor for like dissociation, how it's a useful tool in specific situations, but that if you take it too far, like, you know, a party drug, for example, it can have really dire consequences. Yeah, really enjoy this collection. G's my favorite story so far. Would highly recommend for anybody who's into kind of like literary fiction. It has like a soft sci-fi touch or speculative fiction touch to it. Super easily readable. It's like 200 pages. Each story is like 20 or 30 pages. So I've been like sitting down and reading like one story before bed every night. And it's super easy to get through. So yeah, the collection is called Bliss Montage and it's by Ling Ma.
Sweet. That sounds really good. Oh, you're almost done with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been cruising through
it by tomorrow because I'd like to borrow it.
Maybe I will. I could finish it tonight.
Well, no pressure. If you do, you do. If you don't,
I'll give it to you.
I'll see you guys in like a couple more weeks anyway.
Yeah, we'll be back home in August.
You can give it to me then.
So, Geoff, I know we're on a short timeline here.
We are.
So, I'll ask you quickly.
Yes.
What's been good with you this week?
Well, Justin, what's good is swimming in saltwater pools.
Hell yeah.
Is there anything better? After a long day, your dogs are tired, and I'm talking feet, not animals. You need to relax and cool off, but it's still so hot outside, and you can't stand to be in conditioned air and get that conditioned air headache. So what do? You find your friend, whose parents have a delightful salt pool in their terraced yard, and you hop on in and you do a little swim around in that bitch.
Geoff, is there like somebody in particular that you're thinking of?
I'm thinking of Brandy's parents. Brandy's house yesterday.
Yes.
Man, that saltwater pool, there's just something about it. It hits different. I spent so much time as a former competitive swimmer being up in chlorinated pools. My hair breaks down, gets all wiry and hard, unattractive.
Not the vibe.
My skin gets a disgusting yellow pallor to it. Just generally, I have like mild chlorine burns and irritation all the time in all of my orifices.
By comparison, saltwater.
We can't be having that. So we need to be swimming in saltwater pools. They're cleaner. They're comfier. They smell good. They're better for the environment. Not as much concentrated chlorine.
Is it controversial to say that saltwater just makes people hotter?
Like, I don't think so.
I think like...
Remember, you going down to Sephora, you go over to Macy's little beauty section. What do they have on display summertime? Saltwater hairspray.
Mm-hmm. It truly, like when I used to have longer hair, my hair was never better looking than when I got out of the saltwater.
So much volume.
And it clears up my skin.
Clears up the skin. Heals wounds.
Yeah.
Heals wounds more quickly. So I think what's hot and what's good is swimming in saltwater pools.
And I will say, if possible, listen to Brat from front to back while you're in said pool. As we did last night.
Well, Justin,
Well,
we did it.
This really has been a record short episode.
This has been a record short episode. I know a couple people who are going to be thrilled about that, who have really bad attention spans. I won't mention their names here, Anna.
We got through a lot, though.
We got through so much. So many hot topics. We talked Longlegs. We had some great recommendations for everybody. I think we fucking did it.
Yeah.
This is pretty great.
All right, yeah.
I love that.
I do actually understand that.
Alec Baldwin, I live in Spain.
What a Geoff crossover.
Okay, bye.
This has been Bants with Geoff and Justin. Bants is produced by Jeff Ricks and Justin Benavidez. Graphic design by Jeff Ricks. Editing by me, Justin Benavidez. The theme music for Bants is the track Time With You by Tolif featuring Rule. That's spelled R-V-L-E, and it's provided by No Copyright Sounds. Email us at bantspod@gmail.com with any questions, recommendations, or just to say hi. If you like the podcast, rate and review us on Apple or Spotify. And tell your friends. Bye.
Bye. Wow, we fucking did that. Boss up, boss up.